Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mindset and Momentum. I'm your host. Today, we are tackling a topic that almost every single person listening struggles with at some point in their lives. It's a tiny, two-letter word, but saying it feels incredibly difficult. We are talking about the word no. Hook and listener. Reality check, think about your week. Did you say yes to helping a friend move house even though you were exhausted? Did you accept an extra project at work that you didn't have time for? Did you agree to go to a dinner party you really didn't want to attend? If you answered yes to any of these, you might be suffering from what psychologists call the disease to please. You want everyone around you to be happy, so you sacrifice your own time, energy, and sanity to make it happen. We are afraid that if we say no, people will get angry, they won't like us anymore, or they will think we are lazy or selfish. What we will cover today, but here is the brutal truth. If you cannot say no, your yes becomes meaningless. Today, we are going to explore why saying no is actually one of the most generous and important things you can do for yourself and others. We will look at the psychology behind why it's so hard, why setting healthy boundaries is crucial for your English learning journey and your career. And we will give you 5 practical, polite scripts to help you start saying no without the guilt. Let's dive in. The psychology of boundaries. Why is no so hard? Defining boundaries. Before we learn how to say no, we need to understand what we are protecting. Think of personal boundaries like the fence around your house. It clearly defines where your property ends and your neighbor's begins. It keeps your valuables safe and allows you to control who enters your space. Emotional and time boundaries work the same way. They protect your energy, your mental health, and your precious time. When you don't have boundaries, you don't have a fence. Anyone can walk in, take your time, and leave you feeling drained and overwhelmed. The fear of rejection and conflict. Why do we leave the gate open? Why is it so hard to say no? Psychologists suggest it stems from deep-rooted evolutionary needs. As social creatures, our survival once depended on being accepted by our tribe. Being rejected meant potential death. Today, that translates into an intense fear that saying no will lead to rejection, anger, or conflict. We are terrified of hearing, "You're selfish," or "If you were a good friend/employee, you would do this." The people-pleasing trap, the B1/B2 learner dilemma. This is very relevant for our listeners at the B1 and B2 levels who are trying to balance work, life, and language learning. Often, intermediate learners feel extra pressure to prove themselves. You might agree to translate something for a coworker, attend endless unnecessary meetings, or help a friend with their English homework, even though you desperately need that hour to study for your own goals. You are prioritizing everyone else's demands over your own personal growth. You mistakenly believe that being available 24/7 makes you valuable. In reality, it just makes you exhausted and puts your language learning on hold. The power of the assertive. Yes. The zero-sum fallacy. We need to shift our mindset. Most people view time and energy as a fixed pie. They think, if I say no to someone else, I am taking something away from them. But time is not zero-sum in that way. The reality is that every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you are saying no to something that truly matters. If you say yes to a toxic coworker's request to complain for an hour, you are saying no to your own mental peace. If you say yes to browsing social media all evening, you are saying no to improving your English fluency. The assertive versus passive versus aggressive response. We need to learn assertiveness. Passive, you say yes when you want to say no. You ignore your own needs to please others. Aggressive, you scream, "No, you are rude," dismissive, and ignore everyone else's needs. Assertive, this is the sweet spot. An assertive no respects both the other person's request and your own needs. It is clear, direct, and delivered without anger or apology. The benefits of strong boundaries. When you master the art of the assertive no, wonderful things happen. You gain respect. People actually respect leaders and friends who have clear boundaries more than those who are easily pushed around. It shows you value your own time. You avoid burnout, you protect your energy, and prevent total exhaustion. You achieve your goals. Suddenly, you have the time and mental space to dedicate to the things that truly matter, like your health, your family, and your English studies. The guilt-free framework. Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. How do we actually do it? You do not need to give a long, dramatic excuse. A simple, kind, and firm explanation is enough. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify your existence. Here are 5 reliable scripts you can adapt for different situations. using clear intermediate level English. Script 1. The direct and honest. No best for friends or family asking for favors you truly cannot do. English. Phrase, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I won't be able to do that. Why it works. It's appreciative but firm. You are not rejecting them, you are declining the task. Script 2. The honest reason. No best for when you have a legitimate conflicting priority, like studying English. English phrase, I'm flattered, but I'm currently fully booked with my personal commitments right now, and I can't take on anything new. Why it works. It uses clear professional language to signal that your time is already allocated. You don't need to specify that you're watching a podcast to learn English. Personal commitments is a perfectly valid reason. Script 3. The offer an alternative. No best for when you want to help, but on your terms. English. Phrase, I can't help you with that full report on Friday, but I could quickly review your introduction for 15 minutes on Thursday afternoon. Why it works. This establishes a boundary while still showing you care and are willing to contribute in a limited, healthy way. Script 4. The not my department. No best for high-pressure work situations where colleagues dump tasks on you. English phrase, that sounds like an important project, but it falls outside my current responsibilities. Perhaps you could ask name instead? Why it works. This protects your workload and redirects the request to the appropriate person without emotion. Script 5. The need time to think. No, the delay tactic. Best for when you are put on the spot and feel pressure to say yes instantly. English phrase, can I have some time to check my schedule/calendar and get back to you by tomorrow morning? Why it works. This removes the immediate adrenaline of the request and gives you time to craft your assertive no privately via email or text, where it's often easier. 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Part 4. Navigating the fallout and sustaining boundaries. Expect resistance. When you start saying no, people will be surprised. The people in your life who benefit from your lack of boundaries, your energy vampires, your needy friends, your demanding coworkers, will likely push back. They might get angry, sad, or try to guilt trip you. But you always helped me before. This is normal. It doesn't mean you are doing something wrong. It means they are adjusting to the new, stronger version of you. Stay calm, repeat your script politely, and hold your ground. You don't need to apologize for your priorities. The most important part of maintaining boundaries is eliminating unnecessary apologies. Stop saying, I'm so sorry, but I can't, if you aren't actually sorry. If you are declining a stressful request because you want to protect your mental energy and study English, you are not sorry. You are making a healthy choice. Replace I'm sorry, but with thank you for understanding, but thank you for understanding, but I won't be able to make it to the party tonight. 60 minutes to 75 minutes. Conclusion. Saying no is saying yes to yourself. Final thoughts from the host. Host. Alex. As we wrap up today's deep dive into the art of saying no, I want you to remember this core philosophy. Every no is actually a much bigger yes. When you say no to an energy-draining request that doesn't serve you, you are saying yes to your health, your peace of mind, your time, your language learning journey, your personal growth. You were not put on this earth to be a tool for everyone else's convenience. You are the guardian of your own life. Protect your fence, use your voice, and practice the power of a polite, guilt-free no starting today. Outro and call to action. Thank you so much for listening to Mindset and Momentum. I hope this episode gave you the courage to reclaim your time. If you found this episode helpful, please hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and share it with a friend who is a classic people pleaser. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't be afraid to say no. Until next time, take care and be assertive.